In this video, I'm going to show y'all how to make this gorgeous sunflower bandana wreath. Here's the list of supplies. Go ahead and take a screenshot and save it for later. I'm going to start this project off by cutting each bandana into 4 separate pieces. I highly recommend using a rotary blade. It makes cutting your bandanas super simple. I ended up using 8 bandanas, which gave me 32 total pieces. Now, depending on where you get your metal wreath from, you may need an additional bandana, which is going to give you 4 more pieces. So I would go ahead and pick up that 9th bandana just in case you need it. And I will go into more detail on why in just a minute. Now, this next step is completely optional. I'm just using some starch and then I'm going to iron that on. And this is just going to help ensure that those petals keep their shape when it's all finished. I'm using my Cricut Mini Easy Press, but you can use a regular household iron as well. Go ahead and grab your wreath and your 4-inch zip ties. We're going to start by attaching those zip ties to that second row from the outside. Now, you're not going to close those zip ties all the way. You're just going to tie it until you hear that first click. You want to keep it mostly open. I'm going to be adding 3 zip ties to each of the sections. Now, this is where I said depending on what brand of wreath form you get, you may have an additional section, which is going to make you need 1 more bandana. Now, here's my first section done. I added 3 zip ties to that one and then each additional section. Now, you're going to grab your first bandana piece and you're going to fold that in half, corner to corner. You can see that one side is going to have a decorative edge and one side is going to be where you cut it. You can fold this on either side. Now we're going to start by pinching the middle, and then you're going to pinch that together in an accordion style until you have the entire bottom piece pinched together just like this. And now you have the perfect little petal shape. Now you're going to take that pinched end and you're going to stuff that into the zip tie. This can be just a little tricky, especially if you have nails like I do, but it'll all fit in there just like this. And then you can go ahead and tighten up that zip tie all the way so that petal doesn't move. Now I'm not going to worry about cutting off that zip tie until we're all finished adding all of the petals. You're going to repeat that same process until all of your zip ties on the first row are full. When I got to the end of my first row, I noticed that I had 2 yellow bandanas together. So I went ahead and added a 4th zip tie to that last section and added 1 more leopard print bandana piece. So that gave me 8 yellow ones and 8 leopard print bandana pieces. And now we're going to repeat that same exact process on the very inside circle. I'm adding 3 zip ties to each section and then a 4th zip tie to that last section. So I have 4 yellow pieces and 4 leopard print pieces. And now you're going to add those petal pieces inside the zip ties just like you did with that first row. And here's what it looks like when that step is all finished. I went ahead and fluffed it up a little bit to make sure it was as full as I wanted it. And then I trimmed off the pieces of bandana that didn't look very clean, and then I trimmed off the excess zip ties. And now you're going to need that 8 to 9 inch circle piece. You can use a circle piece of wood or a paper plate. I'm just using a burner cover from the Dollar Tree. I got this jute rope from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to start by hot gluing it in the middle. I'm adding some more hot glue and wrapping that in a circular form, just like this. I'm making sure I use plenty of hot glue so it stays in place. And here's what that should look like when it's all finished. Now I'm just adding some hot glue and putting that in the center of the sunflower. And now this step is optional. I'm just taking a round piece of wood that I found in my craft blanks, and I'm going to glue that onto the back so it all looks nice and clean and uniform. And here's what it looks like when it's all finished. I hope y'all loved this project, and if you decide to make one for yourself, go ahead and feel free to share it with us in this Patreon.